BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top traders. If you sign up with the link in the description, you get a free $100 when you deposit $100. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back. Another day, another descending dollar, another weak Bitcoin. Let me show you a few things first, and I won't take up too much time. So we've got the S&P on the weekly, obviously bouncing here, bottom of the Bollinger Band also. The dailies above the 200 simple moving average, which is all fine. This trend line is still holding, so we'll be looking for continuation on this, basically. Maybe it'll just be in the context of another descending trend of its own from its peak down to these levels. So we're looking at like a symmetrical triangle. So we might be looking to see the S&P form another lower high around 4,450 thereabouts. We've also got gold bouncing significantly now. So it's done very well and looks like it wants to continue from a 200 simple moving average on a weekly. So that's looking pretty good. Other than that, we've got the Dixie, which is still looking like this shooting star is going to nudge us back down to this level, this 105.3. So that's fine as well. We've got tech running pretty significantly. I mean, C3AI was up 8% yesterday. We've even got mining companies closed in the green yesterday, as in like crypto mining companies closed in the green. So all that's good. So what's going on over here? I mean, what is the deal? So, nudged our way back down to the 200 exponential moving average here for Bitcoin. That is like a major support zone. Maybe even one that could generate a huge pump from. Incidentally, Jim Cramer has called for the demolishment of Bitcoin's price. It's going to crash, according to Cramer. It's normally a bullish sign, and that's just an anecdote. That's nothing to go by. But, to look at it right now, obviously the trend on the short-term time frame is going to be down. But this has been a support, should be a support, is acting currently as a support. And with that, we've still got the trend on the on the RSI, an upwards trend finding support. We've also got the trend on the RSI trending as support. And, again, anecdotally, we've got the Bitcoin dominance chart finding resistance on a 200 simple and exponential moving average, which is why I made that video yesterday about potentially seeing some kind of move on alts to the upside, and I know how it sounds. So, like I say, I'm just pointing something out to you. I'm not calling for it. I'm just saying, possibly. And to complement that, we also have quite significant bullish divergence on Ethereum. Yeah, so Ethereum moved up into a death cross retest basically and came all the way back down to support while building up multiple drives of bullish divergence on the RSI. So looking at this support zone, it's not the best in the world. It's been acting, I suppose, reasonable for a zone since back in January. And we're back down there right now. So we might find another bounce from here. And that would make the Bitcoin dominance go down a little bit. An 11% move up to the 200 exponential and all the way up to the simple would be a 16% move. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just pointing something out to you. I'm just asking questions. The 4 hour is not the same story, unfortunately. The 4 hours got no divergence in play whatsoever, so the short-term time frames do not look particularly good. But the daily, for instance, does offer that kind of situation. Again, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you what was going on here. So Bitcoin at support. Ethereum at support with bullish divergence. Bitcoin dominance at resistance. If we're going to see something, it would be now. And if we don't see it now, Cramer will be right. Cramer would be right in what he's saying. If you take Bitcoin to a 4 hourly, we've broken down below the 200 exponential, which is a different vibe altogether. So that again complements further downside short term. And we've got a 200 simple moving average below us that's sitting around 26,800. And again, with no divergence in play, the 4 hourly does not look good. It's also, by the way, got a short signal on here. So conflicting information on different time frames. I just find it a bit weird, to be honest with you, that Bitcoin's coming down. Bitcoin's very weak. Dixie's going down, S&P and stocks generally going up, gold going up, all from significant areas on the chart. So these aren't out of the blue. Like I say, you know, these aren't random areas. It's not bouncing for no reason. You know, back to the weekly, we can see gold moving from a 200 simple back to the S&P. We can see S&P moving from a major trend line. So this isn't all out of the blue. This is not for no reason. It's not random. The technicals do complement these current moves. So why isn't Bitcoin doing anything? Is it going to do something? And if it is, it really needs to do it now, to be honest with you. It really definitely needs to do it now. Something strange is going on here. It's not, I wouldn't call it manipulation or corruption or anything like that. It just seems a bit unnecessarily weak, to be fair. Given the fact that all its best friends are doing exactly what you'd want it to do for upside, and Bitcoin's just not doing it. So we're on the last stage now, and if we can't move from here, if we can't bounce from here, then yeah, it's going to be a bit of a problemo. Yeah, and we'll be basically looking for these lower zones, each one of these lower zones. First one being $26,000 flat, so it's $1,000 move. The bottom of this zone being 25,003 to 400, where probably there would be a decent reaction, even if it were just a move back up to where we lost the area, 27,000. But outside of that, there's nothing much more to say. It is more or less a watch and wait in the hope that we do see a move at this level. And if you break down from this level, there's only one last little place, 26,800, where you might catch a bounce, maybe even catch the big bounce. But losing that area, then yeah, we sink probably all the way back down to $26,000 flat, and then probably a little lower than that. But right this very moment in time, if we're going to see a bounce, if we're going to see some kind of, we won't call it reversal, but a decent bounce, we should see it here, not only for Bitcoin, but for Ethereum, and then for all altcoins. But we were going through we're going through a lot of these alts last night on the Patreon stream, and most of them were pretty rubbish. Some of them offering the same kind of areas right now where it's a do or die kind of move. So that's good, I suppose, if you want to take positions, because it won't take long to know if you're wrong. Yeah, tight stop losses can be applied on these charts. So obviously Ethereum and Bitcoin being my favorites, but also INJ on the daily hitting a 200 simple moving average as well, in the context of actually quite a bullish chart, really. So there is moves possible on these charts, but we're just not seeing it. That's all. We're just not seeing it. So major support. The last level of support being the biggest one, and if we don't move from here, then yeah, probably going to be a bit of a problem, and consolidation back down for everybody. Right, I'll leave it with you there with that little nugget of hopium. It's not clickbait. It's TA, that's what it suggests. That's what we're looking at here. It's a do or die. And if it does do, to be fair, given everybody else that's moving, so gold, stocks, Dixie, it should move pretty well. To be honest, it should move pretty well. We'll see. Maybe even today. But yeah, by this week we will know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.